Well, other than gold,
Yeah, I think there's a little
yeah,
bit of
you know,
sorry. Go ahead
Tom
and explain
was
it. Yeah.
talking about he was talking about yen pairs, so I figured I would pull a Tom move here and whip out the weekly chart. Um, I really like CAD yen right here to the short side, just because there's this double top on the weekly and it's coming up to test it, and it looked like it was gonna break above or stay above, but it didn't, and so I kind of like this just because of the yen strength we've been seeing. Um, so the risk off sentiment overall in the market's just pretty alarming to the risk appetite investors and everything. So, um, I like testing this level here. It could see some buyer exhaustion. But other than that, I'm not really looking at indices right now. I'm not confident in what's going on right now. So if I were to look for anything, it might be a short, but even then, I don't really want to short the market. So yeah, it's just basically CAD yen.
Sure, fair enough. Yeah, no, I think in terms of market confidence, things are really shaken up from what the Fed has been up to and what they've been saying. You mentioned so yen. You're watching the yen a little bit. Gold, of course, also kind of that safe haven to a degree, but maybe not so much as the dollar, because it seems like right now you're favoring the dollar over gold by shorting here. Can you
Right.
show us like your gold short and where you got in?
Yeah, so let me check Discord really quick. I don't remember the exact price. 1925,
Oh wow.
and I am trying to get this to like the low 1880s, where that
Mm,
this level is, this previous bottom 1887, 85. I like that break under the wedge pattern. So we saw what looked to be a
hmm.
breakout last week, and then it just rejected really hard. So we got that false breakout, came down underneath the wedge pattern. So I'm happy I kept re-entering gold, because I would either stop at break even, or trail out. So every time I trailed out, I would just look for another opportunity. So I like this short here, and I'm hoping that it'll go lower. And if it closes underneath that wedge, then I'll feel more confident about my short trade.
Want to stay up to date with all the latest trading information? In the description below, you'll find the link to join our free Discord. The Discord gives you instant access to lots of helpful material like free trading courses, chart analysis, updates about what's happening in the A1 community, as well as discount codes for our other products and services. The best part, all of this and more is 100% free. So go down in the description below this video and check it out for yourself. If you're interested in upgrading to the full VIP Discord featuring our team of expert traders signals, you can use the live chat link in the description to get connected with one of our team members in seconds. So don't wait, go check out the free Discord today.
That's awesome. Yeah, I kind of we had this conversation probably a week or so ago where you were pretty bearish on gold, and I was not. I was kind of I still kind of am neutral, to be completely honest. But I know during this time, you started looking at shorts after this major rejection. So that's a huge trade. Congrats on that one. And I do kind of think, in terms of gold, it looks like price, for those of you guys who are watching it on the 4-hour chart, looks like we're breaking this level of support here as we speak. And if that candle closes bearish, there's probably a good shot that we see gold retrace even further down to where Frank is talking about, that 1887, 1888 level. That again marks kind of a major level of previous support. But again, gold does not look super attractive, and it makes sense from a quick fundamentals, a nod to the fundamentals. If you think about, the Fed is going to keep rates higher for longer. Suddenly, even if I was to go into something super risk off, it would probably be more likely the dollar or bonds or things like that than gold, which of course typically does well. The last thing I will say, gold fundamentally, if they do start to cut interest rates at some point, yet inflation is still high, that is the supernova for gold. That is the most bullish environment that you can think of for gold. If inflation is still very hot, yet they have to start cutting rates due to recession, that would be the most bullish case for gold. So maybe we'll get there at some point, but that would be very interesting.
I do
Tom,
want to mention one more thing.
gold.
Just
Oh yeah, go ahead.
just one more thing on the daily chart. Sorry, but one thing that caught my eye was this 50 and 200 SMA. They're when they cross. So say it crosses above the 200. The blue is the 50. The red is the 200. If it crosses above, that is called a golden cross, which I'm sure a lot of or all of y'all know that. But seeing this get so narrow and the way it looks like it's turning towards each other could result in what's called like a death cross, and that is also a long-term bearish signal on the charts. So from a technical side, seeing that could also be, the shift in this direction is real. So maybe in the next couple of days we'll see these averages cross.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. Again, it's certainly looking ugly for gold price action on the daily. Tom, what do you think about gold? And while you're at it, if you want to just give us a quick view of the indices as well. I know Frank mentioned indices and gold. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, okay, guys. Let's start with gold. And it's just tricky, to be quite honest. It's not nice price action. I mean, if you just look at the weekly candles, you've got a weekly bullish wick and then you've got a weekly bearish wick, which is not easy to trade. There's lots of, contradiction there. But basically, we're in a kind of a range between, these two levels on the weekly. But if we look at the day chart, for me, we were still in an uptrend which makes it difficult for me to trade. And I've just been staying away with gold because I've been getting such mixed messages with it. And, if we followed price action down, it broke. We was actually looking for buys up to here. And for me, it's still in an uptrend until it breaks this low. So structurally, it is in an uptrend, but these candles that we're seeing are just not telling me to buy this chart whatsoever. I had the same, diagonal trend line put in. So it'll be interesting to see where this daily candle finishes. Yeah, you've got really double support here. You've got trend line, excuse my drawing now, I've been drinking. We've got this trend line here, and we've got this support level here. So this could act as quite powerful support. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see how this daily candle finishes at this level. Yeah, really interesting. So gold, I've just been staying away from. It's been tricky price action to read for me. And then
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we do have just 1 minute here before the news. I'll come right back to you because I do want to hear your thoughts on indices after this. What I've done here is I've just prepped the chart so we can watch the reaction to consumer confidence, which comes out again in about 45 seconds here. Indices, speaking of which, before we even get to look at the charts, you can see NASDAQ is just selling off here, in the first hour here of the New York, open in the stock world. So really kind of a creepy start to the day. Dollar seems to be kind of on the rise. Oil doing its thing as well. And gold, like we mentioned, challenging at least this 1910 level of support. So we'll see how this number comes out. Again, about 15 seconds. So we'll go breaking news here and we'll come back and see what the number's at. All right. Should be any second now that we get CB consumer confidence. Give us a little insight into the U.S. consumer. All right. And dollar is initially making just a slight retracement. NASDAQ hasn't moved much. Gold shooting up. Oil staying flat. Dollar down. Let's see if we have any numbers on it.
It's down.
Okay, there it is. Yep. So slightly less than expected. New home sales also down compared to what was expected. So consumer confidence coming out 103 compared to 105.5. showing perhaps some contraction in the consumer, but nothing too notable. If this was really market moving, you'd have a huge spike one way or the other. So anyways, we'll go back to Tom. Sorry to interrupt you for that, Tom. Indices, where are we currently at?
So the NASDAQ is teetering on the edge, basically, because, you know, in the weekly chart, I always start with the weekly chart and then work my way down. But, you know, at this point, we're clearly in an uptrend at this point right here. But now we're starting to see lower highs. So this is a bit of a red flag for me that, you know, potentially this could become, you know, a downward channel. So we've got that, and we've got lots of selling pressure into this last low. And for me, if you know, it's all about if this holds. If this breaks, we could see some real selling off on the NASDAQ and potentially other indices. And you know, and we've got lots of room to move into. I mean, arguably this would be the next level of potential support. So it's at a really important level for me. Yeah, if it breaks this level, you know, lots more room to the downside. It might take a while for it to do that, you know, but if we keep seeing lower highs, this is a red flag for me that eventually we could get a break lower. And if we look at that on the day chart now, you know, we did get a bounce off yesterday, which would suggest it's not breaking anytime soon. But again, you know, it depends what this daily candle finishes. But yeah, real pivotal level for the NASDAQ, this level here. And we're, you know, clearly sellers are in control. Yeah, we're in a very strong downtrend.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, Tom, because where we currently sit, it certainly is a decision-making spot for bulls and for bears. And if that level breaks, I'm totally with you on that. That looks, it's been ugly, but I think it could get uglier if that level breaks. Because again, you know, that attempt to go higher yesterday, if we close underneath the lows, that looks just like a textbook, what is called a dead cat bounce, which is like, you know, it just cannot find a bottom. It's not, and then that can lead to some serious sell-off. So indices, again, look bearish to me until further notice. Frank mentioned that as well. We're kind of on the sidelines with indices and trading other things in the meantime.
Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free EDGEFINDER, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.